Gardening can be a super complex thing, but there are a lot of things we can do to make it a lot easier on ourselves, to make it easier on the plants, just to make it a lot simpler of a process. I'm going to give a couple of those secrets to you today to make sure that you are getting off on the right foot and you can continue with a hard momentum through your veg stage, through your flower stage, and into your harvest. So without further ado, let's talk about a couple tricks that are going to make gardening a lot easier for you and everybody. So, one thing I want to mention before getting into it, I stream on twitch.tv/CannabisExpress420 on an almost daily basis, so go join me there, hit the link down below and hit the follow button, and then join me back here to learn some gardening tips. But without further ado, gardening tip number 1. Now, there's this common belief that you can't use clear cups when you are growing seedlings. It's very frowned upon because roots, they don't like light. They will retract, they will stop growing. Roots do not like light, but there is a way you can use a clear cup and be able to tell when your roots are ready to transplant. If you've never done it before, if you don't know how to feel it out, what you do is you take your seed, you fill a clear cup with soil or soilless medium, and then you plant your seed like normal in a clear cup, and then you put it into a colored solo cup. So a red, blue, black, something that's going to keep the light away. Now what this is going to do is it's going to actually hide the root zone from the light at the same time as still visually indicating to you that the root zone is developed enough to transplant. And then from there, once the roots are developed to their desirable development, where you will be able to take that root ball out and it won't spill apart into a 1, 5, 7, whatever you transplant into pot, it's going to make it a lot easier for a new grower. It's going to make it a lot easier for an experienced grower if they have a hard time with transplanting seedlings into their next pot. So that's a trick that can help you very early on in your grow. And speaking of early on in your grow, how about a trick for when you haven't even started yet? Trick number 2 is to acclimate your environment. Now, this is actually a trick of the trade for aquariums, where it's not essential for gardening, where it is essential for aquariums. But the general idea is that you acclimate the environment so it stays at the steady environment desiring temperature, humidity, let's say making sure your fans are working for the air circulation, all of those factors, making sure they are consistent in your grow space for at least 24 to 48 hours, making sure everything is working properly and is clean before you even plant anything. This is going to ensure that you get a fresh start, a clean start, and it's going to ensure that nothing is going to go wrong at the beginning stages of your grow. So, number 3 tip that we're going to talk about today is staying out of your garden as much as possible. I know we all love to visit our gardens. I love visiting my garden daily when I'm growing. However, I do try to refrain from that as much as possible. I'll water and then I'll try to skip a day if at all possible, because every time you walk into your garden, especially if you walk from outside like I was, you're stepping in dirt, you're stepping in all kinds of surfaces that could have bug eggs and all kinds of contaminants inside of them, and you're going to be tracking that through your garden. So while you're showing your garden more love by being there more and maybe doing more things as a consequence, you are also hindering your garden's performance by introducing a lot of things that are unnecessary. So if at all possible, try to only visit your garden limited times per week, every other day if possible, every couple of days. Try to work out a way where you can skip a couple of days or 1 or 2, just to make sure that you're not introducing more than necessary into your garden and causing a lot more issues. So tip number 4 is actually going to be learn how to clone your cannabis plants. I'll leave a link to a video down below where I will teach you how to clone cannabis plants. And here's why this is extremely important and I recommend it to everybody. So cannabis seeds are expensive, for one. So it's going to be way easier on your wallet because you can take a theoretical infinite amount of clones from a single mother plant. But not only that, that is just a quick point. Learning how to clone your cannabis plant is going to teach you how to be a better grower. Why is it going to teach you to be a better grower? Well, you're going to be able to hone in on not only a specific cultivar, but a specific phenotype. You'll be able to learn a lot of things from growing a single phenotype than you would growing 100 different cultivars, and here's why. If you can hone in a strategy to optimize your yield, your potency, your terpene profile, to optimize how that plant grows in general, over generations, you're going to be a much better grower than someone who shoots the same 6-7 strategies at 25 different cultivars, because he's going to grow something and it's going to be a light feeder, so he's going to back off on the nutrients for the next one, but the next plant's a heavy feeder and he didn't take the clones to adjust his strategy at least one thing at a time. So save money, save your stress from throwing something at a plant that's not going to work in the first place, and become a better grower by simply learning how to clone. You'll get a lot of good quality cannabis by cloning a cultivar that you enjoy, a specific pheno that you enjoy, than you would growing a ton of different cultivars, in my opinion. Let me know what you think down below. Do you think it's better to clone cannabis and specifically hone in on one pheno to learn how to optimize strategy on a plant, learn how to read a plant, or do you think it's better to grow a variety of cultivars? I can see it both ways, I suppose. If you like learning by messing up and always guessing, or if you like learning how to do something really well over the course of time with no real changing needs. So let me know down below what you think. I hope these tips help you in the future. I hope they gave you some insight into how gardening kind of works and some things that'll help you out, and maybe it got your brain jogging for new ideas, and you can leave some tips and tricks down below if you have any new ones. So thank you guys. If you got any value out of this video, please leave a like. If you are new here, hit the subscribe button. I will see you next time. Thank you very much.